welcome back to Surrendered. I hope you're well. My name is Rachel Kimani, and if you're watching this video for your very first time, welcome. In Surrendered, we talk about all things. We talk about our relationship because I believe if you are a worker somewhere, you're in a relationship with your boss, a working relationship though. If you are a parent, you have the greatest of relationship with your children. If you're married, if you're single, you are in a relationship. God values our relationships. So what makes us to talk about these relationships and how we can make them better in Surrendered is because in our journeys we carry so much. We are burdened people. We are embittered people. We are angry. We are sad. We don't forgive. We feel like we have been wrong. We feel entitled to have the best of them. And sometimes things don't always work out. It's my joy to help you walk in your relationship better. So welcome to Surrendered. If you're a parent, this is your video. We have been talking about the things that we shouldn't say to our children. In the last video, we said that words are very powerful. Watch out what you say. When you were young, you used to be told that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so that you talk less and you listen more. And hardly do we do that, including myself. It's a journey. None of us is perfect. In fact, one of the things I've learned is that our children don't even expect us to be perfect. They get surprised when we pretend or we behave to be perfect. Our children expect us to just raise them as we are when we are vulnerable. And in talking about the things that we don't tell our children, I am not in any way suggesting that you relegate, discipline, you relegate things like conversations that build up your child simply because you cannot say, you are wrong. Now that I have said, don't say these things, you think don't talk to them. No. You don't talk to your children, they'll go astray. But it is how you talk to your children. And we said, don't forget what you say to your child. Are they young? Are they big? Are they adults? They will remember those words more than they remember what their friends say. So these words are important. So what is the one thing that I think is very important? I said I came with my list here. Don't tell your child, I will leave you, even if they have offended you how much. Even if they have really discouraged you, this moment come. Don't find yourself telling your child, your son, your daughter, one day I'll just disappear on you. You keep them in that place of hopelessness. They don't know when they go to school or when they're in university that one day they'll come home and they will not find you. No matter what you're going through, please don't put this hopelessness in your child. Next thing, we're passing through them very quickly is, this one happens when you're very overwhelmed, when you feel you have done so much for your child, when you feel like, what do they want? What haven't I tried? Then you tell your child, what haven't I done? Or something like, I've done everything humanly possible that a parent can. They expect you to do everything humanly possible that you can for them. And this child, they found themselves under your stewardship. When you tell them that, and many times when a parent is saying that to their children, they have really tried. They have looked at their children and they are thinking, they don't reflect anything that I ever thought they would be. It is not in the doing, it is in the being. And no matter how angry you are, don't tell them, I have done everything possible I can for you. They feel like, Jesus, when Pilate was washing off Jesus to the crowd, he had no position and he said, I wash this man off my hands. Don't wash your child off your hands. You're with them in the journey. Then the next thing is, I wish I did not have kids. That is so sad. Honestly, they're already there. So even though they have discouraged you, even though you're trying to see life through those broken lenses, your child can also look at you and tell you, I wish you never gave birth to me. I wish you never brought me into this life. In fact, when I was young, a single girl, in this neighborhood I was living in, there was to and fro communication, too much communication between the mom and the daughter. Then one day when I was preparing to go to work, I just heard a loud voice, did I write an application for you to give birth to me? I was so shocked because in my days, I don't know, I couldn't think of that. But I think sometimes you can push your son or your daughter too much to the wall and they just blatantly air out their frustration Don't tell them you wish you didn't have kids. The next thing that you don't do is, I think this one is a big deal. Maybe I can talk about this one for a minute or so. Don't find yourself comparing your child with their sibling. You do this when you tell your child, try to be like so and so. Try to be like your sibling. Try to be like your brother. Try to be like your sister. Or try to be like your friends. They make sense. This comparison is the one that kills every potential of any effort that your child will ever want to make. You can fill in the blanks. Sometimes you may tell them, try to be kind, try to be nice, try to be this. Whatever you actually have told your child, don't do that. When you do that, you kill the potential, you kill the opportunity that your child has of ever becoming who they are. Just allow them to be. Remember, in this journey, we are not doing it alone. The Lord is helping us to go along with our children. And in the end, it is for the Lord's glory. Then, I hope you have never done this. Personally, I have never done this. Don't tell your child, I hate you. They could tell you, I hate you right back. No matter what state of anger, disappointment, discouragement you're in, try and maybe shut your mouth and try and tell yourself, I actually don't hate my child. It is these habits that are so irritating and I feel like I hate them. Don't tell them you hate them. They don't have anybody else who could ever love them. And if you continue to tell them you hate them, they're going to hear lies and deception from outside. They're going to believe that they can find genuine love outside there when it is just the journey of parenting. You can do better than that. I can do better than that. Another thing you don't do, I wish you were like, my neighbor's child who scores this point. I wish you were like, and sometimes I think the children think, I wish you could be like this parent. They have their own weird thoughts. They believe more of imaginations than other truth outside there. The only truth they can actually believe is what you tell them. So make sure you don't tell them you wish they were somebody else. They are yours. Then the next thing that you don't do is, don't tell your child you don't use your brains. What do you think they have been using since the time they came to this planet? They've been using the brain. You've been developing the brain by the knowledge and the skill you give them. Of course, I agree sometimes that your child will do things that don't actually show that they're using their brains. So when I've really felt angry with any of my children, and they know, like I said, one of them is the one who's taking this video, when I come short of telling them, are you using? I tell them, you can do better than that. I trust you to have done better. I am not okay with what you did. Actually, I do that. And at that moment, each one of them know. If I have said that, I was coming close to telling them, you're silly, you're stupid, you're not using your brain. But instead of verbalizing such things, try and do the opposite. Don't tell your child they're not using their brain. They have brains. They're using their brains. And by the way, their brains have come from you. So every time you say that, you're telling them that you're also not using your brain. Don't make empty promises. I think if you have done everything you ever said you'll do to your child, there might be a problem. I think most parents have ever made a promise or two they never honored. The problem is when you actually don't intend to honor any promise. If you make a promise, just try to be vulnerable. If you didn't make it, be the one who will tell your child, I meant to do this, I didn't manage because of this and this and that. I've seen it when my child asks me, Mom, did you remember to do this? And I say, no, I did not. The reaction is, oh, okay, maybe tomorrow. But there is a difference in when I tell them, I'm sorry, I actually meant to do it. I did not make it. I hope to do it tomorrow. There's a big difference when it is your child who is always looking at you, watching over your promises, and they're always broken. Just try to keep your promise. And if you can't, tell them, I am unable to do that. For me, what I try to do, I am not very quickly making promises because I am busy. I mean to do it, I'll be overtaken, and I will end up frustrated. I'll end up frustrating my children. You know that frustrating face you get when your child wants to be polite to you, respectful to you, but they're looking at you thinking, surely you haven't kept any of your promises. So once again, parenting is a journey, and none of us has made it. Like I say, don't be told by anybody, I am a pro, I have made it. I myself, I come short of being a very good parent. I am trusting God to help me to be one of the best parents that He created. I'm trusting God to be an effective parent. So be encouraged as we continue to steward these people that God has put under our care. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing it. Continue to comment. I want to encourage you. If there is a word that you wish that another parent doesn't say to their child, just write it here. Dear parent, don't say this. Then you put in that word you do not want that parent to say. So dear parent, don't tell your child you hate them. Don't tell them that they don't use their brains. Don't tell them that you will disappear on them. Don't tell them who taught them those things. And keep on remembering God is for you and God is for your relationship. Keep on surrendering them to Him for His glory. All must be surrendered to God. Until next time, see you and bye-bye.